So if you ever wonder why you go from 0 to 100 Jason Bourne status when you would just chill and all of a sudden you're gonna fight or you're gonna flight. Well, I guess Jason Bourne does flight sometimes because sometimes he's outnumbered and he has to get out of there. But most of the time he's gonna fight. But a lot of times they flight too. I'm not really sure, but in a lot of action movies, they either fight or flight. Those are the two most common responses that we know in human existence, especially when you have experienced complex post-traumatic stress disorder, developmental trauma, or any other trauma disorders. Fight or flight are these natural responses that our brain just does. We don't think about it. It's just extremely instinctual. Sorry, but it's an instinct that we have. Just like my accent is an instinct. Instinct. Learn how to speak, bro. So thanks to evolution, our brain has this beautiful alarm system called the amygdala. It's funny, I can say amygdala, but I can't say instinct. Freaking nuts. And the way to think about the amygdala is, think about it as a mailman is coming to your door and your brain needs to know, is this mailman safe? Or do I have to freaking Jason Bourne karate chop him and get my Jason Wick on? Jason Wick. Not Jason Wick, bro. John Wick. And the crazy part about it is, or the evolutionary part about it is, the amygdala, it doesn't do little nuance. It doesn't do little nuanced details. You're either safe and I need to be okay with you and we can chill, or I need to fight or flight. Those are the two major responses. You have fawn and you have freeze, but fight or flight are really like the championship instinctual responses in our brain. So you might be wondering, what the hell does this have to do with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, Joe? Well, here's the thing. When you experience that level of trauma, your amygdala becomes extremely hypervigilant, extremely hypersensitive. So you see a car going off and all of a sudden it backfires. It makes this crazy noise. I don't know if I did that noise right, but it makes that crazy noise and automatically your survival instinct kicks in and you think you're in the apocalypse, Independence Day. You see Will Smith running down the street and you go, oh shit, he's about to slap Chris Brown. Actually, he's Chris Rock. He would have slapped Chris Brown. It would have been a whole different outcome. But let's break it down. So fight mode is essentially your body and mind saying, hey, amygdala, we're not running. We're about to throw hands, about to get our Manny Pacquiao. I can't speak today. We're about to get our Manny Pacquiao on. And we're just going to see what happens because I never ran, never will. I'm from Brownsville. I'm not sure why I said that. But essentially, your fight response is going to just go, we're fighting. There's no need to run. And the beauty of that response is that sometimes you do need to fight. Like if I'm home and there's an intruder in my home and I have my kids, I'm going to fight. If I can get my bare hands on that person or get you know what on that person, I'm going to fight to protect my family. So that's a normal response. The problem with that is when you experience complex post-traumatic stress disorder or trauma-related issues, you take that approach for everything. Your neighbor says, hey, what's up, Joe, man? Why you didn't call me yesterday? I thought you were supposed to go party. And all of a sudden you go, what are you talking about? Why I didn't call you yesterday? I don't need to call you, dude. Why do I got to call you? You call me, bro. And I just go into this fight attack mode because my amygdala is so hypersensitive and hyper reactive that him just kind of doing a friendly banter and a joke toward me, you know, kind of like calling me out, but in a nice way, in a neighborly way, to say, I kind of miss you, why you didn't call? I'm ready to fight this guy. Or another more practical example is my boss emails me, hey, Joe, I love your report, but you were missing one page. Can we please get that done by this evening? I need to hand it in. And I can go, okay, you know what? I have time. Let me just get it done. Or I can be like, why is he being passive aggressive? This guy's being a freaking ass. You know what? I'm going to write this freaking disgusting email to him to tell him how I feel and give him peace of my mind. That's the fight response, as opposed to like, yeah, I made a mistake. Let me own that. Let me just send that email off and my bad. So enough of beating a dead horse. I think we understand how the fight response works. Let's talk about the flight mode or flight response and how that works when you experience trauma. So the flight response in the wild, when we were primates, evolutionary creatures, if you believe in that, or if you don't, I'm not trying to start an argument. I'm just talking about it and how our neuroscience developed. You're in the wild, you see this big ass freaking woolly mammoth coming toward you, and they have their little elephant baby next to them. I don't know what you call an elephant baby, a cub or a baby elephant. I don't know. And that woolly mammoth spots you and goes, I'm going to run through this guy because he's not going to hurt my baby. I see it, it sees me, and I'm just Usain Bolting myself out of there. Very common, appropriate response to that level of danger. I need to be running from that woolly mammoth. Although if that woolly mammoth is within 20 yards or even 30 yards, I'm probably going to get caught. But the reality of it is, most of the times, us little humans back then, we knew how to get safe. And so we ran and we did a flight. We took a flight, boom, and just got out of there. So how does this pan out in modern times? The way this works in modern times, when you experience, again, a ton of trauma, is when we're supposed to have social plans, and instead of knowing that you should go because these people are quote unquote safe, your brain thinks, no, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no again. Even though they keep asking me, I say no. That's just a way of saying, nope, I'm gonna run away from that situation because going out to me feels dangerous. I know that person, but I don't know the rest of the team, and that feels kind of dangerous to me. So I'm gonna just run away from that. Another example is if I gotta pay my bills, right? And I just let my bills pile up over time because I don't really have the money. I don't know how I'm gonna come up with this money. So I'm gonna just let the bills pile up. I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm just gonna run away from facing that issue head on, because when I faced issues head on in the past, it was dangerous, right? I got hurt. It didn't work out for me. And to the CPTSD brain, we just sometimes don't care about the now. Like, we gotta take care of this now. We go, no, we're gonna escape for right now. And then that right now becomes a pattern, and that's 2-3 weeks from now, 4 or 5 weeks, a month, and your whole lifetime you spend just running away, flighting away from your problems. Flighting away from your problems, I'm not sure if that sounds correct. You guys get what I mean. So the good and bad news is that these reactions are not like choices or your personality. If your barista says, hey, good morning, Joe, your coffee's ready. What do you mean my coffee's ready? Boom, and I just punch them in the face. Well, that's a trauma response reaction. Or if your barista goes, hey, your coffee's ready, and I go, and I just run out the store, well, I just left $6 worth of a latte just sitting at Starbucks. So for some of us who have a very strong fight and flight response because we learned it through trauma, the good news is we can retrain our brains. And sometimes the flight or fawn response as a hyper vigilant response doesn't always go away per se. Sometimes it does. But what happens is we learn how to manage it in a way where it doesn't control us as much. So we know we're about to start doing it and we go, Joe, back down. Your neighbor just waved at you and gave you a little head nod. The head nod wasn't, what's up, bro? The head nod was, hey, bro, cool. And he's cutting his grass, so he's not really paying attention. You don't got to go over there and body slam him. Fine. Or the head nod wasn't, yo, what's up, bro? Nothing's up, and you run. It's just a simple hello. Over time, those reactions of danger, 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 we need to fight or flight, just become normal ways of interacting, and you go, okay, they're just saying hello, what's up, and go about your daily routine. So the next time someone says, hey, your taxi's here, don't worry about fighting or flighting. Just laugh at it a little bit and go, you know what? My nervous system is like my overprotective friend. I could put boundaries on that. I can learn how to heal that. And over time, I can make my own decisions from a very conscious prefrontal cortex type of way. Today, I really can't speak. I'm mumbly like crazy. You know what? I just think I need a little piece of this watermelon. All right. This is probably going to make you want to fight or flight me, because when people chew in my ear, God, that makes me want to cringe. Okay, focus on my bald spot. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys for watching. Leave that like, leave that comment, and please leave a subscription, because I'm watching you, bro. I am watching you.